hearty, homemade vegetable soup. Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be using what I've got in the fridge to make a small dish of vegetable soup. So y'all come on, and we're going to make a delicious dinner on a dime using what we have left over, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're going to put it all together, and we're going to make a delicious pot of soup. So y'all come on and join us. This is a heartier type vegetable soup. Our friend Pat used to always make this, and right now she's not able to get to make it, and I'm going to see her. So I'm going to take her some of her homemade vegetable soup. I don't know if this recipe is going to be up to par with hers, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So here we go. Let's get started. Okay, y'all, let's go over what we're going to be putting in our homemade hearty vegetable soup. We're going to be putting around 2 to 3 small yellow potatoes, some okra, mixed vegetables, colored butter beans, some minced onions, some extra corn if needed, a can of diced tomatoes, some butter to saute my onions in to start it off with, some tomato sauce, some bouillon powder, salt and pepper. And we'll also be putting some parsley, a bay leaf, and some oregano. So let's get started. And 1 pound of ground beef. Go ahead and turn your eye on of medium high. And you're going to want to go ahead and put your butter in and let it start melting. This hearty home-style vegetable soup, you can mix anything you really have in it for vegetable-wise. Back years ago, when times were hard, they put whatever they had to make their soup go further and stretch what they needed for their family. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I'm putting in mine, but your recipe don't have to be exact. You can put in whatever you have that you need to use up in vegetable soup. Okay, now that we've got our butter melted good, we're going to go ahead now and add us some onions. And now we're going to let those onions just start sauteing just a few minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and start breaking up my ground beef. And I'm not going to chop it up real fine. I want it to stay a little chunky, because it's going to cook down as the soup starts to cook. It's going to cook your meat down also. Now, depending on what kind of ground beef you use, you may have to drain the grease. And on this one, I will have to drain the grease out, I believe. But if you're using one that don't have a lot of fat in it, more like a ground chuck, you probably won't have to even worry about draining any grease out of your vegetable soup. But we're going to let that cook down and see if we have to drain our grease. Okay, now that we've got our ground beef done, we're going to drain our grease off and then bring it back to the stove. Now we've got our ground beef and onions drained, we're going to go ahead and start adding our other ingredients in. I'm going to start by adding about a teaspoon of minced garlic. Parsley, and to ours I like to add just a dash of oregano, not much. And we're going to add a bay leaf in, but we'll add it last. We'll go ahead now, we're going to put our bouillon or beef bouillon, salt, and pepper. Our can of diced tomatoes. Our tomato sauce. This is a half a cup. And we're going to give that a mix. And bring it back up to temperature. And now I'm going to go ahead and add our lima beans. Our mixed veggies. And these little cups are around 1 cup of each kind of vegetables. 1 cup of okra. And we're going to give that a light mix. And now we're going to go ahead and put our potatoes in. It's already smelling good, and we hadn't even got everything in here yet. And just combine all your ingredients together. That right there is going to be a hearty vegetable soup. And now we're going to add 1 quart of vegetable broth. And we're going to give that a mix. And I'm going to be adding about a teaspoon of my total seasoning. I like using this seasoning because it has a little bit of everything in it. It's already got your garlic, onion powder. It even has a little bit of dried onions and parsley in it. And now, after we got all our ingredients in there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our 1 bay leaf. I like to add that last, that way it don't get broke up in your soup. And now we're just going to let that sit there and come to a good boil, and then we'll be boiling it for around 30 minutes. Okay, now that the heat is starting to come back up on it after adding all our ingredients, I'm going to add a teaspoon of regular white cane sugar. You want to do this to your soup, that way it'll take the bitterness out of the tomatoes. You don't want your soup to have that bitter taste, so just add a teaspoon of sugar and that'll help cut that bitterness out of your tomatoes. Okay, now that you've got a good boil going, you're going to go ahead now and place your lid on and turn your heat down to a medium heat, and we're going to let it just sit there and cook for around 30 minutes. Just keep an eye on it and make sure it's not scorching or anything like that going on with those tomatoes sticking to the bottom. But we're going to let it cook with the lid on, and then we'll take the lid off and let it cook for another 10 minutes, venting. hearty, homemade vegetable soup. We're going to add a little bit more salt. And some black pepper. Now that it's been cooking for around 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to now put the lid on and I'm going to let it vent just a little and cook for around another 15 minutes. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the bay leaf out of our soup and give it a good mix. And y'all can see how the soup is thickening up a little now. That you let it start venting, it will thicken as you let it vent. So we're going to let it cook for around 10 to 15 more minutes. And we're going to have us a bowl of hearty vegetable soup. In vegetable soup, you can use whatever you have. So when you have a little bit of leftovers of this and that, corn, butter beans, okra, and you don't use it up, always save it up, freeze it, or do it at the end of the week and make you a homemade pot of hearty vegetable soup. It's a dinner on a dime. Don't let it go to waste. This right here would even be a good soup to make a big batch and do some canning. You could can it in pint jars, and that would be enough just for 2 people to have a meal with like a grilled cheese sandwich or something, or even crackers. Soup goes good with crackers, sandwiches, or even just by itself. Now that our soup is done and the house smells so good, we're going to serve us up a bowl of this homemade soup. We're actually taking this to a friend that loves vegetable soup, and I'm going to see her, and I thought I'd take her some homemade vegetable soup. This right here is a budget-friendly meal also, using what you have to make your family a delicious dinner. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Comment down below what all you like to put in your vegetable soup. Give the viewers some ideas of different kinds of vegetables, or even if you put pasta in it. Let us know down below what you like in yours. Thanks for watching. Okay, y'all, that's my version of Pat's hearty home-style vegetable soup. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, like, and share our videos. Subscribe to our channel down below if you hadn't already. Thanks for watching. And when I got there, and Pat and myself, we enjoyed a bowl of this soup for our lunch. We sit down together and we had us a little picnic. So she told me she approved of our homemade vegetable soup. So if she says it's good, it's gotta be good, y'all. Give it a try.